Childhood should be a time of joy, a safe haven where we learn, grow, and form the bedrock of our identity. Yet for many, this period is marred by a pain that leaves no visible marks but cuts deep into the fabric of their being: emotional abuse. This insidious form of maltreatment often operates under a veil of silence, its impact reverberating through the years and casting a long shadow over their adult lives. How does this invisible wound shape who we become? How does it affect our relationships, our mental well-being, and our very sense of self? This essay delves into the profound and lasting consequences of childhood emotional abuse, exploring its insidious nature, its devastating effects, and the path toward healing and reclaiming one's life. Emotional abuse, unlike its physical counterpart, often lurks in the shadows, its presence difficult to pinpoint but its impact undeniable. It is a silent predator, weaving its way into the fabric of a child's life, often unnoticed by those around them. The scars it leaves are not visible to the naked eye, but they run deep, affecting the child's emotional and psychological well-being for years to come. It is a pervasive pattern of behaviors, both verbal and nonverbal, that chip away at a child's sense of self-worth, leaving them feeling inadequate, unworthy, and deeply insecure. These behaviors can range from overt acts of yelling and name-calling to more subtle forms of neglect and indifference. Each instance, no matter how small it may seem, contributes to a growing sense of worthlessness within the child. It is not a single incident, but rather a relentless campaign of emotional assault that erodes a child's spirit over time. This ongoing barrage can lead to a gradual withdrawal from social interactions, a loss of interest in activities that once brought joy, and a pervasive sense of sadness that colors every aspect of the child's life. The transformation is often slow and insidious, making it difficult for even the most attentive caregivers to recognize the signs. Consider the child constantly belittled, their accomplishments minimized, and their opinions dismissed as insignificant. This child learns to doubt their abilities and question their worth, internalizing the negative messages they receive daily. They may stop trying to achieve, fearing that no matter what they do, it will never be good enough. The joy of sharing their successes is replaced by the dread of inevitable criticism, or the child subjected to relentless criticism, their every action scrutinized and found wanting. This constant barrage of negativity can lead to a paralyzing fear of making mistakes, stifling the child's natural curiosity and willingness to explore the world around them. The child may become overly cautious, afraid to take risks or try new things, lest they incur further disapproval. These forms of verbal abuse, though seemingly intangible, inflict real and lasting damage on a child's developing self-esteem and sense of self. The child may begin to see themselves through the distorted lens of their abuser's words, believing that they are inherently flawed and unlovable. This internalized self-loathing can persist into adulthood, affecting their relationships, career, and overall quality of life. Emotional abuse can also manifest in more insidious ways, such as through manipulation and control. The abuser may use guilt, shame, and fear to bend the child to their will, creating a dynamic where the child feels powerless and trapped. This manipulation can be so subtle that the child may not even realize they are being controlled, believing instead that they are to blame for their own suffering. The child made to feel responsible for their parents' emotions, walking on eggshells to avoid triggering an outburst. This constant state of hypervigilance can lead to chronic anxiety, as the child is always on high alert, anticipating the next emotional explosion. The child learns to suppress their own needs and desires, prioritizing the abuser's moods and whims above all else. Or the child subjected to the silent treatment, their presence ignored, and their attempts at connection met with icy indifference. This form of emotional neglect can be just as damaging as overt abuse, leaving the child feeling invisible and unworthy of love and attention. The child may come to believe that they are fundamentally unlovable, leading to a deep sense of isolation and loneliness. These tactics, though less overt, are no less damaging, leaving the child feeling isolated, unworthy, and deeply insecure in their relationships. The long-term effects of emotional abuse can be profound, impacting the child's ability to form healthy, trusting relationships in the future. It is crucial to recognize and address these behaviors early on, providing the child with the support and validation they need to heal and rebuild their sense of self-worth. The scars of childhood emotional abuse run deep, often leaving invisible wounds that linger long into adulthood. These scars are not just emotional, They can manifest physically, mentally, and socially, affecting every aspect of a person's life. Their impact extends far beyond the confines of our formative years, shaping the very essence of who we become. The experiences of emotional abuse during childhood can create a ripple effect, influencing our thoughts, behaviors, and interactions with others. The insidious nature of this maltreatment lies in its ability to shape our core beliefs about ourselves and the world around us. It can distort our self-image, making us feel unworthy, unlovable, and incapable of achieving our dreams. This influence extends to our relationships, our mental well-being, and our overall trajectory in life. We may find ourselves trapped in a cycle of unhealthy relationships, unable to break free from the patterns established in our youth. Like a ghost from the past, it haunts our present, shaping our perceptions, influencing our choices, and casting a long shadow over our ability to lead fulfilling and meaningful lives. The echoes of past abuse can make it difficult to trust others, to open up, and to form deep, meaningful connections. One of the most profound ways in which childhood emotional abuse manifests in adulthood is through its impact on our sense of self. Our self-esteem and self-worth can be severely damaged, leading to a constant inner struggle to feel good enough. Having been subjected to constant criticism and invalidation, we may internalize these negative messages, carrying them with us into adulthood like a heavy burden. This burden can weigh us down, making it difficult to move forward and achieve our goals. We may struggle with feelings of inadequacy, doubting our abilities, and constantly seeking validation from others. This need for external validation can lead to a cycle of dependency, where our self-worth is tied to the opinions and approval of those around us. The fear of failure becomes a constant companion, paralyzing us from pursuing our goals and living our lives to the fullest. This fear can hold us back from taking risks, trying new things, and stepping out of our comfort zones. It can prevent us from reaching our full potential and living a life that is true to ourselves. However, it is important to remember that healing is possible. Through therapy, self-reflection, and support from loved ones, we can begin to unravel the impact of childhood emotional abuse. We can learn to rebuild our self-esteem, develop healthier relationships, and create a more positive and fulfilling future. The journey to healing is not easy, but it is worth it. By acknowledging the past and working through the pain, we can break free from the chains of childhood emotional abuse and reclaim our lives. We can learn to love ourselves, to trust others, and to live a life that is full of joy, purpose, and meaning. Remember, you are not alone. Many have walked this path before you and have found healing and happiness on the other side. With courage, determination, and support, you too can overcome the impact of childhood emotional abuse and create a brighter, more hopeful future. Imagine going through life feeling like you're constantly walking on eggshells, never quite measuring up, always second-guessing your every move. It's as if every step you take could lead to a misstep, a mistake that will confirm your worst fears about yourself, and forever haunted by the fear of not being good enough. This fear isn't just a fleeting thought, it's a persistent, gnawing anxiety that colors every aspect of your life. It whispers in your ear, telling you that no matter what you do, it will never be enough. This is the heartbreaking reality for many adults who have endured emotional abuse as children. The scars left by such experiences run deep, often invisible to the outside world but profoundly affecting the individual's inner life. The constant barrage of criticism, belittling, and harsh words from those who were supposed to care for them, and invalidation takes its toll, eroding their confidence and sense of self. It's like a slow, relentless erosion of their spirit, leaving them feeling small and insignificant, chipping away at their self-worth, making it difficult for them to see any value in themselves. They may look in the mirror and see only flaws, unable to recognize their own strengths and potential, and leaving them with a deeply ingrained sense of inadequacy. This feeling of not being enough becomes a part of their identity, a shadow that follows them everywhere. This low self-esteem becomes a pervasive force in their lives, impacting their choices, their relationships, and their overall well-being. It influences how they see the world and how they interact with others, often leading to a cycle of negative experiences. They may shy away from challenges, avoiding opportunities that could lead to growth and success. The fear of failure looms large, making it difficult for them to take risks or step out of their comfort zone, fearing that failure will only confirm their deepest insecurities. Each potential failure feels like a validation of their worst fears, reinforcing the belief that they are not capable or worthy. They may settle for less than they deserve in relationships, accepting mistreatment or neglect because they believe they don't deserve better. This can lead to a cycle of unhealthy relationships, where their low self-esteem is continually reinforced, believing that they are not worthy of love and respect. This belief can be so deeply ingrained that even when love and respect are offered, they may find it difficult to accept or believe in it. The weight of their past experiences becomes a heavy burden, one that they carry with them every day. This burden can make even the simplest tasks feel overwhelming, as they struggle under the weight of their own self-doubt, holding them back from reaching their full potential. The dreams and aspirations they once had may seem out of reach, as they are held back by the chains of their past. The fear of failure becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, as they avoid taking risks and miss out on opportunities that could lead to growth and fulfillment. As they avoid taking risks, preferring the safety of the known over the uncertainty of the unknown. This avoidance can lead to a stagnant life where they are unable to move forward or achieve their goals, and putting themselves out there for fear of judgment and criticism. The fear of being judged or criticized can be paralyzing, preventing them from expressing themselves or pursuing their passions. This can lead to a life of missed opportunities, unfulfilled dreams, and a sense of regret. The things they once hoped to achieve may remain unfulfilled, as they are held back by their own fears, and a constant nagging feeling that they are not living up to their true potential. This feeling can be a constant source of pain and frustration, as they see others achieving their goals while they remain stuck. The echoes of their past continue to dictate their present, influencing their thoughts, feelings, and actions. These echoes can be difficult to silence, as they are a constant reminder of their past experiences, keeping them trapped in a cycle of self-doubt and fear. Breaking free from this cycle can be incredibly challenging, but it is possible with the right support and resources. Recognizing the impact of their past and seeking help can be the first steps towards healing and reclaiming their self-worth.